And welcome back to the second part of the restaurant management system object-oriented inheritance tutorial. I'm going to start by taking care of, I would like to take care of this reset. Exit is working as we want, and there. Okay, now let's come into the reset button here. Where is that? Right in here. See, with the resets, right click. In fact, I have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 frames. So, and this making 5. So what I'm going to do is, let's right click on that. I'll just show you guys 2 different methods of how to reset. So action, perform. I think it's right here. There we go, that's the reset. No, that's total. Now let's change the name. Let's see, is this reset? Yeah, that's fine. That is exit. And this one, let's change the name of this. Right, that's the name of that. And this, does this have a name? No. Okay, the resets. What are we resetting? We're resetting all of these and all of these and these. Okay. Before the reset can work, I'm going to need the name of this panel itself. Let's right click, find out the name. That is panel 3. And what about this? Let's see the name of this, panel 1. And these 2, 7 and 5. Okay, so let's come in here. I'm going to use this method that will actually reset it all in one go, but I have to address the panel. So the first one is to address panel 3. But in the first place, we need to import the components. Right there, that is imported. That was why we have the error. So the first panel will be taken care of is panel 3. If I copy this, we should be able to take care of another panel. This is panel 1 and this is panel 3, I believe. 3. Back in there. Let's paste another one here. There, that'll be for panel 1. Okay. Now that's panel 1. Alright, so let's divide that. That's panel 1, and we need 2 coil braces here. Right. That's to clear panel 1. And the other one happens to be 5, and I'm going to copy all of that. Copy. Paste. I think that was 7 and 5 or so. Panel 7 and 5. Let's see. We need the names of these 2. 7 and 5. That is correct. Okay, if you look at the lines of code, it's using for loop to actually get rid of the content in there. Okay, well, for panel 7 and 5, I would prefer them to be empty. So instead of defaulting back to 0, I prefer them just to be empty, so get rid of that. Right. So those are the lines of codes to use. Now the next thing is, let's try it out. Yeah, let's try it out and you see what I'm talking about. So Oh, there's one more. This very one, receipt. So let's change the name of this. There's no point writing long lines of code for that, so let's just come in there and call it txt receipt. There. And come right down here, and for the receipt I'm just gonna paste that underneath here, right underneath here. There. So dot set text equals nothing. Right, so that's it. That's all for the clear function. So let's run it up, run the whole system, and you guys see what I'm talking about. So if I have any value in here, okay, let's click on reset. There we go, guys. Right, the reset is working. That's fine. Now let's come back in here and just change the font size here to something a little bit readable. Maybe make that bold and 14 for now. Right. Alright, we now need to take care of the total before we can take care of this. Let's go back into the superclass. Inside the superclass, I actually need price for all of this. I'm going to copy everything. Now let's come right down here. Let's write down here. Let's say price. And enter that as well. Price. Okay, paste that in here. And I will make the different would be with just a P that stands for price. And here, keep going. So let's give each of them a value. So fillet of fish meal will be approximately, let's say 3.56, and the hamburger itself, I think that's a meal, let's say 2.95. Chocolate milkshake. There. So I now have all of the data type for the price set. Now that all these variables are set, we can then use them to work out the total. But before then, inside the superclass, we can also work out our tags right in there. Yeah, why not? Let's do that now. I'm going to work out the tags by entering public. Let's say public double, and that will be FC tags. Let's make that equals 0.90. Alright, after 90% you have to pay for tax. So public double, copy that, paste it right there, change this to capital D, and the name is going to be cfind tax. Cfind tax, and that would be double C amount. Right. Now in here, let's say double find tax equals C amount minus C amount then we say multiply by MC tax. There. And we now need to return a value. Return find tax. Okay, and that's all there is to it. So I have my tax in there ready to be used. Alright, hopefully I think I'm done with this. Yeah, I think so. Okay, back in here, let's carry out the calculation here. Click on that and action perform. Inside the total, I'm going to have to declare as follows. I need to create sub class underscore child so I'm going to call that item let's say item cost equals new subclass. Now item cost itself, paste that in there, dot the very first one that happens to be fillet or fish equals item cost dot fillet or fish. No, it's going to be fillet or fish with a P multiply by, we now want the name of this. What is this called? Do they all have a name? I doubt that. Yeah, I knew it. Now fillet or fish. Fillet or fish. Copy that. I'm back in here. So that will be double dot pass double, and what we are passing is fillet or fish dot get whatever we have inside fillet or fish itself, the text box. Right, that is that done. Okay, the next item on the list is that's going to be that of the chicken burger. So let's see, undo that. Okay, we just need to go for the burger now. I think that's chicken burger. Let's check and be sure that's chicken burger. That's fine. Equals item cost dot pc chicken burger, and then we then need to multiply that by, let's copy all of these, paste that in there, jtxt. Now what's the name of that object? Okay, it's chicken burger. Right, paste that in there, and that will be dot get text right there. Now that I've taken care of two of those, I believe you guys should get the whole idea. I'm now just going to copy it, and I'll speed that up. Copy and paste, then change it around. I have about 10 of those really there. So I'm now going to change that up, change it around, and get back to you guys. So this one is going to be dot chicken legend. Okay, you all get the whole idea anyway. So let's speed it up, just like I said earlier on. Okay guys, it's all completed now, though you guys might not be able to see it all. Let me reduce the font size. come straight to the option here. There we go. And let's just reduce it a little bit. I'm going to make it about 14 so that you can see it all. I think that looks a little bit too small, but at least you guys should be able to see it now. Okay, that is it there, right? Okay, let's see if we can make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to change that to about 16. Alright, that's much better. Okay, the next thing I would like to do is I'm going to first of all see right up here or right underneath the object that is declared. Let me declare the following. Let's say dim. Oh, sorry. Let's say double I tax, comma I sub total, comma. Then we have I total right there. Now, right underneath here, let's say I subtotal equals, that will be item cost. This very one, item cost dot get amount. There we go. We have the subtotal sorted. That is the whole idea of this method here that I use in adding them all. That was using adding them and adding all of the items together. That's the whole idea. So back in here, that is done. The next thing is let's take care of I total. I tax. The I tax equals item dot, thing that is called find tax. Let's see my tax. Yeah, there we go. That's it there. Right. Then in here I'm going to enter subtotal. There. That's the tax taken care of. Then finally I total equals I subtotal plus I tax. So that should give us the total plus I tax. There, that is taken care of. But we still can do nothing with this. So what we need to do to be able to enter those values in here, we have to convert it all to string. Then once we can take care of that, then we can come here and take care of this as well. So first thing I'll do is let's come in here. I'm going to declare a variable. Let's call that string subtotal equals, it's a string dot format. And what are we formatting? We are actually formatting, let's format it to £. That's how you format to £. Dot to decimal place. And this comma, I will enter the argument. This argument is going to be I subtotal there, and enter semicolon there. So that is that taken care of. Now I'm now going to enter the value in there, txt sub total dot set text. And what text am I setting? That is going to be subtotal. There, that is done. Copy that and just repeat the same thing for the tax and total. So this is going to be total and this is I total. There, that's easy. And this is going to be tax. And in here we have tax, I tax. And finally this one is going to be I, it's going to be tax. and in here this is tax. Change that to tax. Let's make sure this one is total, subtotal. There, that is it, all taken care of. So let me show you guys the lines of codes again. Yeah. Those are the lines of code for total. There we go. Right there, from here down here. Now you need to see the rest actually. Right. Okay, maybe let's change this. Let's change it to about 15. Maybe you guys can see it more. Right. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now, I will now find a way to add. Let's take care of this first. Okay, I'll now find a way to make sure the cost of meal is added here, the cost of drinks are added here, and both of them added together to the cost of, what is this? Total cost of items. Let's change that to item. Yeah, that's fine. So add all of this together, add this together, and that comes here, and both is added to get this. So let's go back in here. Let's come back. Let's come to total. Right click on total. Or maybe before that, let's run it and see. Let's run it first. Compile and run. So we enter some value here. So that means we want 4 fillet of fish. We want chicken on the gut, chicken legend. We want about maybe 2 of those, and 1 bacon and cheese. Then the drinks there and here. So if we click on this here, there we go. Right, but the price of this is not showing all this. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to work out this, and this should give us the total of this. So let's check that out and see if it's gonna work. First thing first, let's see. Yeah, that works as well. The reset works. No, now back inside the total, I need the names of these though. Let's work out the very first one, cost of meal. Now come in here, right click, events, paste that in there, copy that, dot, paste. Okay, now it's going to be string. That will be string, paste this here, string drinks, no, meal. You want meal in there, and change this one to meal as well. Now if I come into the super class here, inside the super class, that is where I get the meal. Okay, it's called meal. So now back in here, so let's say item cost. So in here, item cost dot meal. There we go. That's very easy. Close that. There. Now the next one, copy. The next one is going to be for the drinks. So I think this might be drinks. Okay, that's correct. And let's change the name of this to drinks. Just to drink, that's fine. Change this to drink. and this is going to be dot drinks, right? That's taken care of. Now let's find out the name of this. That is, copy that, so paste that here. I'm just going to copy this. So this one is going to be known as total cost. Total cost, yeah, and this is what dot is the total cost, total of MD. Yeah, I think that is what it was called inside the super class. Yeah, MD, that's that added together, right? But we can even, yeah, that's fine. Let's go back in there. Right, so if I run it, compile and run, and let's enter whatever we want in there, 3, 5 and 7. Then we want about 9 of these, 4, 7 and 5. Okay, 5. Now click on total. There we go, guys. With the drinks, there's a mistake here. Let's check this out. What have we done wrong? Because we have this and this. Okay, let's exit and see the name that was called. Okay, let's see. Oh no, look at that. That is wrong. Okay, let's correct that. We're meant to change that to, that's meant to be milkshake. Shake. Alright. The next one is vanilla cone. Let's come in here. That should be vanilla cone. Right, now we have classic vanilla. Let's see, classic. There we go. And vanilla milkshake. The milkshake. Then we have chocolate. Let's see. There we go. Right. Now that those ones are right, okay, I think we can now try it out and see, since the corrections are made. Alright, let's run it. Okay, now enter whatever we want to enter in there. Maybe 9 of those, and just click on that. Yeah, that is correct. We add these together, gives you 123 plus, and the same thing with tax and so on. That's good. So all that is left for us now is to take care of the receipt. Okay, let's exit and go to straight to the receipts, or receipts actually. Right click and select event, action, perform. Right in here, I'm gonna delete that and enter as follows. The first thing I did in here is to create a random generator, and then I also have codes for date and time. Okay, now if we scroll down, that's for date and time, and that's for the random number generator that will be used as my reference. Now in here, that is my receipt. That's the title for the receipt. That is my reference number, and here those are the price, the cost of the meal, and the total. And right in here have the tax, subtotal, and the overall total. And in here, that's where I've embedded the date and the time. You can see them right here. And just finally, thank you. And that's it. So let's compile and run it. I suppose you can see the whole lines of code for the receipt. So let's just compile and run it and see. Now hit the run button, and there we go. So I'm going to just enter whatever value in there. Leave that out and hit the total button, then print out the receipt. There we go, guys. Yeah, so with that, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed. So you all have a nice day now, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.